because I don't remember him like that. He was always smiling or laughing. And I have three kind of abiding memories of him. And the first is of him laughing. And he had a great sense of humour. And didn't matter what was going on, he would find the funny side of it. And sometimes he'd just be kind of sitting over in the corner out of the way, which is how he usually sat, and he'd just be chuckling to himself, watching what was going on in the house. And it reminds me, you know, in terms of his relationship with God, that verse that says, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." And he had that deep abiding joy. And it helped him, I think, to see humour in sometimes really difficult and sad situations. And I think that's one of God's great gifts to his people. My second abiding memory of him is him smiling. And he used to smile a lot. And his smile reminds me of three things. Firstly, his gentleness. He was a very gentle man. And he was very kind. And very generous. And as I pictured him smiling, those are the three things that really come to mind for me. And when we were staying there, we lived about 10 minutes walk away from the Pathers. And if you don't know Hyderabad, it's situated on the Deccan Plateau. It doesn't have a lot of water. And in summer, that's particularly the case. And we were there just before summer. And most days were around mid-40s at that time of year. And drinking water was only running 2 hours on one day a week. And if you didn't collect your drinking water on that day, then you had no drinking water for the rest of the week. And we were at a vacation Bible school that week, so we couldn't collect our water. So Mr. Pather went down to our house and he collected water for us. So we had to go up to where the water was running, just out of one pipe. Everyone collected their water at the same pipe. And it must have taken him hours because he filled every single container in our house. Anything that could hold water had water in it when we came back.
Wow.
So the big water barrel that was our main drinking water, that was full. That was about that big. And then there were a number of other pots and containers. They were full of water. Cups, bowls. We came into the house and everything had water in it. And he must have made that trip from our place up to the water pipe and back just dozens of times to fill that up. And that was the kind of man he was. He was a very generous, kind man who would serve. If you needed help, he would help you. And I just see him, that smile on his face, gentle smile. And then my third memory of him is when things happened that were out of his control, which is often the case in our lives, or that he didn't understand what was going on, he would just go, just very slowly with his hands, and then smile. And I could just see him doing it. And again, that reminds me of the depth of his relationship with God, his humility. And there's a verse in Isaiah that says, "This is the one I esteem, he who is humble and contrite in spirit, and trembles at my word." And that reminds me of Mr. Patton. That was the kind of man he was. He trembled at God's word, both in fear of God and also in love of God. He trembled with excitement about what God's word meant, and also trembled out of awe of what God's word meant. And it produced in him a really deep humility. And when he didn't know what was going on, or stuff happened that he just couldn't control, he just trusted God. That's how it is. We'll trust God. He didn't say it, but that was what he was meaning. We'll trust God to bring us through this. And so I have those three kind of photos in my mind of his face, and that's a serious photo. You hardly ever saw him like that. Now, the only time I saw him like that was if the grandkids were doing something that he didn't approve. Which happened occasionally. But yeah, Janelle and I remember him with great affection. A wonderful man and a man who glorified God in a very simple and humble life. Thank you.